It's two dudes with attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan enjoys wrestling and MWO. And this is our WWE edition weekly breakdown where we're going to talk all things SmackDown, Raw, NXT. We're even going to get into some prediction time because we have a Vengeance Day card coming up for NXT. As always, if you're liking what you see, if you're liking what you hear, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, give us a comment, give us a like, give us your phone numbers, whatever you need to get us booming. And as I always say, Ryan, let's go.
Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all Lee, the two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
And we had a jam-packed week of WWE, my friend, I have to say, right?
We really did.
Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and I have to say, for those of you that don't know me, I am a divorced man. I now have a girlfriend, but Ryan, I have to say, I fell back in love again. Monday Night Raw, Liv Morgan. This girl had a mugshot, and it was like stunning. It could be framed in art. Then this girl gets her eye busted open like she was just in an MMA fight on UFC, and yet she got even more gorgeous. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing, but if anyone knows Liv Morgan, if she thinks I'm kind of attractive, I'm 6'1", 180 pounds. I'm like Dirty Dom, except a little bit more handsome and a little bit less rich. You could take care of me, girl. Tell them to DM me, Liv Morgan.
There you go,
girl. All right.
Shoot your shot. I like it.
I'm always going to shoot my shot. Right. Don't worry, Liv. I never miss. All right, let's get into it. We got two dudes read the news. We got some sad stuff and some exciting stuff. Oh,
so we'll start with the sad, then go to the good. But last Friday was WWE Dark Friday or Black Friday or whatever you want to call it. But they released 11 wrestlers from the organization. They released Sonya Deville, Isla Dawn, AOP, and Paul Ellering, the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and Elektra Lopez, Blair Davenport, Cedric Alexander, Giovanni Vici, and I think that's all of them. So they are officially, Sonya Deville is the only one whose contract is not going to be renewed, so she wasn't outright released, but the rest of them, their contracts they'll be gone, or they're gone from WWE effective today or effective last Friday, and we'll probably see where they end up 90 days from now. But everyone else, Sonya Deville is the only one that could probably sign imminently. Whenever her contract's up, she can go anywhere she wants.
Oh, yeah, she can anywhere she wants. Whew. So with the releases, right, I'm not going to crap on them because all these people were fake crying for views on TikTok. And, oh, my God, what are these people going to do? Isla Dawn now is going to lose her house and her family. And bro, like, here's the thing, right? People being released and let go is awful, and it's awful in all worlds, right? In America, everywhere. You lose your job, whether you're a janitor or WWE superstar. It's sad, it's no joke. But with that said, we're in a time now for professional wrestlers where they get paid a decent amount of money, so hopefully they bank some and they're doing all right. Secondly, there's so many places to go, and I don't just mean like AEW or TNA or I mean New Japan, the indie scenes. Now people get paid. Zack Ryder, he doing all right. He ain't living cheap. You've seen where him and Chelsea Green live. They're doing all right. He's in the indies. Like people,
he doesn't need the WWE.
No, 100%, and a lot of these people don't. And so am I saddened by it? Yes, but let's be real, right? Everybody who got released literally just got released like 2 years ago or whatever. They all got brought back to get fired again. So for the most part, the only one that I was really surprised with was Sonya Deville, only because she's a leader of a group. They put her in a crappy group. It's not her fault. Sonya is not only super sexy and amazing, but she's great in the ring. She's great on the mic. She was great as a GM. I don't get why they don't like Sonya Deville. I'm not buying in. I saw some people. The internet is such a dumb place where they're like, let me get this straight. You're going to fire a lesbian, but you're going to keep Logan Paul around. I guess Triple H loves Trump. I'm like, yeah, that's That's where
No.
that's what happened. That's exactly like, come on, stop. Why do we have to stretch for everything, right? Maybe here's my thing too. Honestly, and I hate this because people get laid off. I mean, I'm maybe all of us in our time will either get fired or laid off at least once.
It's happened to me 4 times in 3 years for me one time. Yeah.
There you go. So it happens, and it's awful. And I feel bad for all of these people. I just know they'll all rebound and they'll be all right. Because I think in the positive. But like it's just like in a business sense. Most of these people weren't being used. They're filling up space. They're not. What do you think the WWE is going to do? Just pay all these people $500,000, $300,000 to just sit and do nothing, or release them? I think they still get paid out their contract probably, or they get something for it. And now they'll have some money for the next probably 6 months to a year to survive while they go find new work in a few. It's not like, I mean, it stinks and it's awful, but we're acting like these people are going homeless. Like, you know what I mean? Like they lost their houses in the fire and they had no insurance in LA. And now like, what are they going to do? And they're doomed. They need a GoFundMe. Like these wrestlers will be okay. It sucks. Yes. But we don't have to be dramatic about it.
No, it's not the only game. No. WWE is not the only game in town anymore. And places like you were saying, they have options. But I think the thing for me that it tells me is that Triple H is not as perfect as everybody makes him out to be when it comes to booking, because Sonya Deville, he put her in. I know he didn't make decisions to release these people, but he put her in the Pure Fusion Collective and he booked her to lose matches, and he booked her to be. And then I remember when they re-signed the Good Brothers, and people were pumped about, we're going to have Finn Balor and AJ Styles in the Good Brothers, and then they're going to get Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. We're going to have the Bullet Club in WWE, and Papa H is going to cook. We see what they've done. They brought the Good Brothers back, like you said, just to fire them. And then same thing with AOP. I remember the vignettes with Karrion Kross and AOP and the Final Testament. Everyone was, they're going to be used better under Triple H. And they weren't. And Isla Dawn was losing tag team matches and won the women's tag team titles in Clash at the Castle off Bianca Belair, and then hasn't done anything since. And Cedric Alexander, I mean, he hasn't been used in a long time. So it just goes to show that Triple H just is not as perfect as everybody makes him out to be.
For sure.
Yeah, I think hopefully that's a wake up call to people that when they say, Papa H is going to cook with this person, and it's not always a guarantee. And like Blair Davenport being released, that one shocked me too, because he called her up to the main roster. He drafted her. Like they had a big moment where she hugged Shawn Michaels and everything, and then he didn't have any plans for her on the main roster. And it's just like, what was the point of drafting her then? Like that's a Triple H fumble, in my opinion.
At all. But remember too, in the positives also, and I know it stinks because these 11 wrestlers don't deserve to be anyone's stepping stone, but they have LFG going on. They have NXT. 11 wrestlers lost their jobs. Hopefully they're getting compensation until they can find a new job, and they will. All 11 of these people will find a new job, but at the same time, that means 11 new people will gain jobs. So I mean, it's not just like we're throwing away 11 people and we're never gonna it is what it is. And like Baron Corbin said, he was like Sonya Deville. He just did Chris Van Fleet, and he said, "Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, I want to be in WWE, but you know what? Now I have freedom. I'm already in other shows working and doing things that I was never allowed to do. And now I can grow and I can do that WWE did." WWE is not the end all sale. Do I think it's the biggest league in the world? 100%, but it's not the end all sale. People can thrive anywhere. I guarantee you Adam Copeland sleeps very nice every single night in bed. So they'll be all right. We will be all right. So, and I just know, I know all these wrestlers will thrive. So,
yeah. And then in the other bit of news, I think you're going to love this one. But
hell yeah.
Demolition might be, this is more speculation than anything. And before we get into it, I want to shout out Wrestling Figure Galore, because he posted this on TikTok today. He's our #1 fan out there.
Heck yeah.
Comments on all of our stuff. And he commented, or he made this post, and I had to go and fact check it and check it out. And he was right. The Demolition was added to the WWE alumni section, ending their years-long fallout with the company over likeness and stuff like that from like 1997. And they were added to the WWE alumni section, and it's fueling speculation that Demolition is headed to the WWE Hall of Fame.
I'm going to keep it quick. This is the greatest tag team of all time. I don't care what anyone said. I've posted many of posts about it, got many of crap for it. Here comes the axe. Here comes the smash. Here comes Demolition. Take that, Vince McMahon. Also, every single time I go to a wrestling event, WWE-wise, I dress up like Daddy Dom. For all of you out there, I'm going to have Ryan paint my face, and I have that exact outfit Smash is wearing in my closet. If you like 180-pound, 6'1" dudes wearing that stuff, you're going to love me in WrestleMania because I'm going to be dressed up like that in Vegas, and not one person will blink an eye. Let's go, baby. Demolition, they deserve it. They are just the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. I don't care if anybody says the New Day. It ain't them. Demolition did it in a time where tag teams mattered. I'm telling you right now, Demolition's the GOATs. I don't care if you think they're a copy of Legion of Doom, whatever. It doesn't matter what they're a copy of. I mean, is Chris Jericho a copy of Shawn Michaels? You know what I mean? Like, does that take away anything from people? No. Demolition's the real deal. Let's go. They better go to the Hall of Fame. They freaking deserve it. Before they die, they old now. I've seen them like at photo. Man, hopefully they'll be there when we go to WrestleMania. If I get a picture with Demolition,
I
want with Liv Morgan though. I'm gonna ask her out right.
Call her up. Be careful, man. She might message you on. Liv Morgan might message you on TikTok asking for gift cards and stuff. So be very careful.
I'm like, wait, what? How much gift card money would you like, Liv Morgan? Here you go.
I gotta send it to. Why do I have to send it to Nigeria? Are you touring?
Shout out to all the people who fall for things. I apologize. That's not
very nice.
That's worse than losing your job, y'all. All right, let's get into it. You ready? It's time for the SmackDown review. And I think, you know what? I'm gonna start at the end. Maybe you don't want to, but let's do it. That end started a lot of controversy. The higher ups in the TikTok creator worlds were angry. The lower ups in the TikTok world were angry. I think I was the only one sitting at home going like, hell yeah, let's go. But after Cody Rhodes' match to close out the show, one Solo Sikoa, I love you, Solo, came back and attacked Cody Rhodes and laid him out. I'll let you start because I'm assuming you're like the latter group of people. Let's see. Let's go.
I don't mind it. I'm glad to have Solo back. It's very, I think I've said this before, but it's perfect time to bring it up again. But it's very Forrest Gump-like, in my opinion, because I got to go to the White House again. I got to meet the President of the United States again, and that's what we're getting. We're getting Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa again. But I think this could open the door to a lot of different areas for not only Cody but Solo as well. Like Solo doesn't have a WrestleMania plan. Maybe he loses to Cody and Jacob Fatu turns on him and we get Jacob and Solo at WrestleMania because remember losing has consequences. Maybe and we can all hope and pray that maybe The Rock sent Solo Sikoa to take out Cody Rhodes, and this is how we get to The Rock versus Cody at WrestleMania somehow, some way. I'm still holding on hope for that. I'm not holding my breath on that though, but I'm still there's a small part of me that thinks that could happen. So I don't mind it as much as everybody else, but is it repetitive? Yeah. Is Solo Sikoa going to win? No, but it gives him something nice to do before he maybe drops the title at WrestleMania.
I made a post about Rhea Ripley and Io Sky a couple of weeks ago and how they should wrestle in the Elimination Chamber. I got attacked for that. I was called an idiot, a moron. I don't know what I'm talking about. 2 days later, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley are wrestling the Monday Night Raw after Elimination Chamber. Why? Because champs need something to do. It's not intriguing when everybody's trying to get to face a champ at WrestleMania and the champ just sits around and picks their butt. The champs need something to do. Rhea needed something to do. Now you have doubt, right? Now you have people saying, maybe Io will win. Maybe it's going to be Io and Liv Morgan at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Or Io versus Bayley at WrestleMania, right? Same thing with Cody Rhodes. What do you want Cody to do? You complain when he doesn't wrestle? Now you complain when he does wrestle because he's wrestling Solo Sikoa again? Solo Sikoa makes so much sense. Here's the thing. You're 100% spot on. It's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Solo at Elimination Chamber or possibly the Monday Night Raw after as well. And they're going to do their thing. And Jacob Fatu is going to cost Solo Sikoa the match by turning on him. And we're going to get Solo versus Jacob at WrestleMania. Print money. Also tired, 100%. I'm also tired of all the people saying that WrestleMania is going to be weak. They're like, oh my gosh, this is the most mid WrestleMania ever because there's no Rock. Wait, last year, let's rewind. Wait, what? The Rock versus Cody? Oh, the Rock versus it needs to be Cody. Rock versus this year we need Rock and Roman. Just Cody? We could never be happy.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah,
it is so stupid. Listen, There is how many matches are set? Oh, just one. We'll talk about that on Raw. So stop calling them. It's mid. You're going mid off of what Sean Ross Stupid and Dave Stupid are saying. Yeah, they both are brothers. They're both ending the name Stupid. They're both morons. You're listening to these idiots on the dirt sheets tell you what the cards are going to be. Like everybody's already like signed up for CM Punk versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. CM Punk has literally said nothing about them wrestling whatsoever. And everybody's like, no, it's CM Punk. And then Logan Paul comes out and has a 2-minute chat, which we'll get into with CM Punk. And everybody's like, oh no, CM Punk versus Logan Paul. Guys, shut up. Watch wrestling. Enjoy it. Let trips get there. Nothing is set in stone yet. There is nothing mid about this wrestle. It's in flipping Vegas. If you think this is going to be a mid WrestleMania, then stop watching wrestling.
Agreed.
The end.
And I made it. I did. We did highs and lows last week, and I said that my low was the build to WrestleMania this year. But it just feels to me what's crazy is what a difference a year makes. And this year, the only difference is there's no Roman Reigns as champion. It's like we put the belt on Cody Rhodes, and there's no aura, there's no excitement about Mania.
You knew that.
There's no, but now Roman Reigns doesn't have Roman Reigns as champion. Everyone's excited for Mania. They're pumped for it. So put the belt back on Roman Reigns and bring some excitement back. But that's just that's what I would do. But I don't like work there.
Should have put it on KO, but whatever. KO and Sammy again. Ugh. All right. Yeah. Speaking of advancing, let's start with Alexa Bliss because she is one fine, foxy lady. She came back and we thought, oh, just Rumble. She came back on SmackDown, and then Bo Dallas mentioned her, so I'm assuming she's gonna whatever. But here's the thing: Alexa Bliss advances. Are you excited for this? And do you think she has any type of shot at winning it, or is she just there because she's hot?
I mean, it's the latter.
Sorry. Yeah,
I think it's more of the latter. I don't think she's gonna win it. I've been kind of disappointed in not Alexa Bliss being back and not her at all, but more of the presentation of Alexa Bliss. They haven't really hyped up her return the way that I thought they would. I thought for sure it would be like the talk of the town. I thought they would let her cut a promo to kind of explain where she was, what her character is going to be, or and things like that. And they really didn't. They didn't mention her last week on Raw after Royal Rumble at all. They didn't talk about. They just glossed over it. And then her first match, like she didn't miss a beat. I mean, she was gone for what, 2 years, and didn't miss a beat in the ring at all. She looked fantastic. I just wish the WWE would have presented her a little bit better and made it feel like more of a bigger deal that Alexa Bliss is back.
Yeah, and I agree. And now if they bring her in the Wyatt Six, it's like, So you had her come back a couple times, and all of a sudden she's just like in. Yeah, I agree. I wanted to see what happened where she was. Didn't she have a baby? I know she got married.
Yeah, she had a baby with Ryan Cabrera. Yeah.
Yeah, but dude, what the good for her, man. She looked better than she did before. It's crazy how these women can give life and then just like look like that again. Like nothing could. I ate 3 burritos at Del Taco. I'll never look the same again. Like these women are remarkable. Props to women, man. I'm telling you, I could never be a woman. So that's all I can. They are. We'll get into that on Monday Night Raw too. But Alexa Bliss. I wish we would have got a little bit more to it as well. Just something. Give me something because she's great on the mic.
Give us a backstage interview. Yeah, something. And like, what are we doing with her character? Is because she came out with the Fiend Forever coat, which kind of hinted that maybe she is joining the Wyatt Six. But then her wrestling ability was kind of pre-Wyatt Six, Alexa Bliss. But then she kind of turned to that demented side like halfway through the match.
And did the finish.
Like, So it's like, is she going Wyatt Six? Is she not? Like, I don't know. Give us some direction. And I know we don't need everything in one fell swoop, but if you're gonna bring somebody like her back, she's a big star. Let her give some mic time and kind of explain who she is and where she's been and why she's here.
Agreed. And the Lily doll did have a 6 on the year, so bum.
Yeah.
All right. Although the Wyatt six, I thought they was sick. I don't know. All right. Let's get back into Elimination Chamber. Your boy, my boy, everyone's boy, Drew McIntyre advances to the Elimination Chamber match. I was confused though. Everybody, John Cena he got a golden ticket by buying a Wonka bar. CM Punk had to just beat Sami Zayn. But then Drew McIntyre had to literally get through LA Knight and Jimmy Uso. So he had to beat 2 people to get there. Make it make sense. But I know you have some stuff to talk about with this match, so let's hear it. Yeah.
The logic, man. The logic means he didn't
complain. Wouldn't he have complained?
Yeah, like he was just complaining about how Adam Pearce had a hostile work environment on Monday Night Raw, and how he's happy to be here on SmackDown because Nick Aldis is fair. And then his first thing is triple threat. You're the only one in a triple threat, and it's like, wait, what? Huh? So yeah, the logic didn't make any sense there. But the thing I want to talk about with this is how good Jimmy Uso is on the microphone. And I've been saying it for a while, and maybe Jey is just as good, but I just don't know how good he is because all he does is yeet, 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 yeet. And, Jimmy's over here, telling the truth to Drew McIntyre. Like, dude, you lost. And the way he says it and the way that he carries himself and the way he presents himself, it's just, I don't know. I find Jimmy much more dynamic and more engaging on the microphone than Jey. And I hope Jimmy gets a good push going into WrestleMania as well, because I think he deserves it. But I loved his promo where he called out Drew McIntyre. I liked LA Knight coming out and going to the camera and telling everyone that it's okay for men to cry. It doesn't make you less than a man. And then he turns around and makes fun of Drew McIntyre for crying every week. They call him Drew McIntyre. So I thought it was a good way to bring Drew McIntyre over to SmackDown. I'm confused about his direction. I know he's in Elimination Chamber, but what's he gonna do at WrestleMania? Because if there's anybody who deserves a high-profile match at Mania this year, it's Drew McIntyre. And I don't think he's winning at Elimination Chamber. I don't think he's wrestling CM Punk. I really don't want him to wrestle Damian Priest, which is what everyone's rumored to have him face. But if you're going to do that, at least there was no interaction between the two of them on SmackDown. So I don't know. But it was a good way to bring Drew over to SmackDown, and a good way to introduce him to that crowd. But I really enjoyed what Jimmy had to say more so than what Drew had to say.
Well, the funny part is with Jimmy is that Jey was always the more talented out of the Usos, in my opinion. I always thought he was a little bit better in the ring. I always thought he was better on the mic. The problem is that's what happens when you get stuck in a gimmick. Like Stone Cold used to be the best promo dude, or at least he was like one of the top ones. He would come out and kill it. And all of a sudden he said, what? And after that, the dude stopped cutting promos. His promos got weak, and all he did was what? Because he had to, right? I'm going to drink a beer. What? I'm going to fart in my hand. What? I'm going to beat The Rock. What? I'm going to kick your ass. What? It just became a thing. Jey Uso now is stuck in that. Jimmy Uso needs to know, just stick with yourself and promos. When you become a one-liner, look at LA Knight. Same thing with him. Everything's yeah. And sure, people like to yeet. People like to say yeah, and that's great. But in the general thing of it, to me, it makes you stale. And I know I'm not a 12-year-old kid. Like I'm sure my son wants to yeet all over the place. Not until he's at least 15. But you know what I mean? But like, it's just, it is what it is, man. And so, yeah, I think Jimmy is cutting better promos right now. Drew and Priest, I mean, it is what it is. Everyone's hating on it. If it happens, it happens. Two big dudes going at it. They're both former champs, main eventers. It'll help boost one of them. I'm okay with it. What else are we going to get at WrestleMania? But nonetheless, yeah, I fully agree with you. And I think Jimmy can do and should do better work. I'm just glad he's finally finding his ground, because when they had him first break off, he was like, I'm Jimmy Uso. Whoop, I tripped and failed. I'm a dum-dum. I like it. And now at least they got him into a gimmick and who he really is. So yeah, hopefully he gets to thrive and follow in the footsteps that his brother's doing at the moment without yeeting. I did like that he said, I don't care. I'll say yeet, and I'll say no yeet. And the crowd literally went no yeet. So at least he's like, I'll do whatever the hell I want. I like that. Yeah. So props to him. All right, Monday Night Raw, baby, because the two dudes, we like it raw. Where are we going to start? Let's start. All right, well, we're going to Made for Mania. All right, so we started at the end on SmackDown. Let's start at the beginning. I'll let you do it. Jey Uso, Gunther, what you got? Let's hear it.
Now, last week, I was not pumped about Jey Uso really winning the Royal Rumble. I was not excited about Gunther and his World Championship reign. And again, what a difference a week makes, because this week I am very pumped about this match at WrestleMania. I mean, Jey held his own. I love the fact that he was in mid-yeet and Gunther comes out and beats him down. And yeah, I thought this was a very well done segment. I thought the brawl was cool. I like that Gunther looked like the Gunther of old. I feel like his world championship reign, he wrestled like Damian Priest. He like lost his confidence. Then he lost to Cody Rhodes, and he just hasn't really been the same since. Now I feel like he's starting to find himself again. And that beatdown at the beginning of Raw was a great way to get us excited about the match at Mania. Jey chose Gunther as his opponent at WrestleMania, so the match is made official. And yeah, I'm pumped now. I can't wait to see where this goes, and hopefully Jey Uso finishes his story, which is what we all want, I think.
Yes, sir. Yeah. My thing is that I don't know if I loved it so much, only because I'm so sick of the 16-hour yeet fest. He yeets for 8 minutes. His entrance and his yeeting. Oh, again, on the intro, let's do it again. Oh, wait, do it again? Let's get it again.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, stop with the fucking yeeting. So I like that he got beat up, but here's my thing. I loved it. I'm not trying to crap on little things, but there are little things I want to crap on. But number one, the best part of that entire thing was Gunther hitting a poor 12-year-old kid in the face with his jacket. His zipper obviously hit that poor kid. That kid dropped. There was a dad sitting another area who was with his kid who literally looked like he was going to jump over the barricade and fight Gunther. It was like I couldn't even focus on Gunther with the beatdown on Jey because the crowd was so pissed off. And I know he meant to like throw it towards Pat McAfee. It was supposed to be like
Pat McAfee's fault. He ducked
100%. Yeah, like McAfee, what are you doing? If he's throwing it at you, like there's people behind you. But who would have known? That kid got dropped. That jacket hit him so hard. The zipper, you can see the corner hit him in the head, and he was like, that kid was out for like 3 minutes until he came back. So that was the most effed up part. And I'll talk about that later on. But other than that, you have somebody that nobody wanted to win Rumble versus somebody that a lot of people don't like as a champion. They just wrestled a week ago. You put them back together. What do you do to get people excited? This is what you do. And everything works perfectly. This is the Gunther people like. This is the Jey Uso. And I hope now he starts yeeting a lot less, knowing that every time he yeets. And I wanted Gunther to say that. I wanted Gunther, when he got on the mic, to say, every time you yeet, I destroy you, or something like that. So at least he can like try to eat, and we're gonna end it. So at least we have something to look forward to build up. But nobody thinks Jey Uso is going to be a champion. So how do you build him to be a champion? The Bryan Danielson route, right? Give him sympathy, build him up as the underdog who can't do it, and then he'll do it. I already told you guys this is gonna be Rocky all over again, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is Rocky 1, not Rocky 2, where he doesn't beat Gunther at the end, but we shall see. And then also, the one thing I didn't like about it, bro, when you get your ass beat for 10 minutes straight, don't get on the mic and then talk. Why couldn't that be backstage? That was my only, and I know I'm nitpicking, but then I thought,
then he got up and fought him off again.
Yeah, so stupid. Like, what's wrong with selling like the beatdowns? Like, Braun Strowman gets beat down, squashed 50 times by Fatu. What happens? He's back 3 days later to wrestle in the like. Let's sell some stuff. What's going on here? But other than that, I liked it. But yeah,
I want to talk about the selling part real quick. Going back to SmackDown, Can we talk about Cody Rhodes and his lack of selling? The man we were told that he had he couldn't come to the Royal Rumble press conference because he had sustained major injuries, and his title was that was like a whole story. His title, he'll appear on SmackDown, but we don't know, his WrestleMania plans are in doubt. And the man walks to the ring to congratulate Jey Uso. He's got his suit on. He's not limping. He did talk about how he had his elbow drained and how his hip was displaced, but there's no limp, there's no sign, and he wrestled. Like, we talk about the lack of selling, lack of selling in ring drives me crazy, but lack of selling between things really drives me crazy too. And that was
And you would think Trips would be all about that, like the selling. That's who he was as a wrestler. Yeah, crazy. Yeah. All right. We got the returning AJ Styles after the Rumble. He came out. He cut a good promo. Too bad for him that he cannot no longer say his one line, the house that AJ Styles built, because obviously it's Monday Night Raw. But nonetheless, and then all of a sudden he was interrupted by my doppelganger and the coolest dude in town, Daddy, Dirty Dom, and Carlito. And look, I know what you're going to say, Ryan, but he's just gonna job to him in 2 seconds next week. Cool, perfect. You can say that all you want. I'm Ryan enjoys wrestling media, and I think you're gonna get beat down at stupid. But no, in all honesty,
you should watch AEW where the characters are more complex than what we get in WWE.
They really are more complex, 100%. Like Hangman Page is like, I don't know, just like it's like never mind. He's like Picasso, and Kevin Owens is more like something my son painted when he was in kindergarten. But no. So Daddy Dom interrupts, and this is why I like it, right? Because one, Daddy Dom can go in the ring. Stop sleeping on Dominic Mysterio. 2, AJ Styles to become a bigger babyface, you need the biggest heat in the world. Did Dominic Mysterio not show once again that he is the biggest damn villain and heel in all of professional wrestling? The dude can't even talk. There's no point. Hopefully they don't write him promos because there's no point to it. They don't let him talk. He still got some in there. Great stuff. Dominic needs more solo stuff. He needs a solo match. It's probably going to be against Dragon Lee, which will be fire at WrestleMania. We need Daddy Dom to be built more. I'm sick of him just being the lackey. He can be the background goofball and he can be Liv Morgan's booty, but he needs to be a wrestler. He's too talented and too damn good to not be that. I'm all for this. Great first match for AJ. Great first welcome back for Daddy Dom to build to WrestleMania. You had me sold, and it was a nice surprise. This was a nice surprise, not a bad surprise, a nice surprise.
Yeah, no, I liked everything about it, and it's good to know that heel Dominic is still in there because over the last few months, it feels like they've been transitioning him slowly towards that babyface route. He's been doing a lot of backstage stuff. He hasn't been in the ring. When he is in the ring, it's Liv Morgan doing all the talking. He's not doing anything. He's been teasing the stuff with JD McDonough. He tagged in for him, and JD hit his head on the table. So fans were chanting and cheering for Dominic and JD. So and then Finn Balor's jealousy stuff. So it felt like they've been kind of transitioning him slowly to a babyface role, but obviously not after the way he was treated by that crowd. And it was good stuff. I loved it all. And him versus AJ Styles is a good way to bring AJ back. I mean, look, AJ just came back from a major injury. So obviously the WWE trusts Dom and his in-ring abilities enough to be AJ's first opponent back. So that clearly says something about Dirty Dom and his ability in the ring.
Facts on facts. And also, it seemed like they're transitioning Daddy Dom into being the leader. He said, JD's gone. We need a new crew member. Finn was like, no, but Carlito came out with Dom. Liv, who for whatever reason is Raquel Rodriguez's weapon in matches. They've been doing it nonstop. Well, it backfired this time. She decided to swing her into people, but forgot that the corner of her eye is sensitive because that's how it works. If you hit the right spot, your eye just splits open. Her eye was split open, like I talked about at the beginning, but dang, Liv Morgan was like, yo, stitch me up. Nah, fam. I'm going to cut a promo in 25 minutes. Leave it there. Who cares if I scar? And I'm going to be laying on Daddy Dom on a couch with my eye still bloody and open. That girl is a beast. So proud to bring her home to anybody's dad. You know what I mean? She is one of a kind. Hopefully she gets stitched up, though, because if you don't stitch that up, then it's just a scar. Hopefully she stitches that bad boy up. But if not, she's gorgeous anyway. But yeah, good stuff all around. And I would like to see Daddy Dom as a leader of Judgment Day. Just saying. Yeah. Why not? The Young Guns with Carlito. He did.
Teasing a new member, too. It makes me wonder, like, was he who's going to join the Judgment Day, too? So there's some intrigue tuning into next week and the week after.
Rey Mysterio. All right, let's get you angry. Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, let's go.
I love Bayley. I think Bayley's fantastic, and she's in the NBA All-Star game, and I said last week she's going to drop 40, and I hold to that. She is going to drop 40 at this All-Star game.
You got to learn how to spin a ball on her finger.
Yeah, that's true. You got to know just how to put it in the basket, man. That's all she's got to do. But I wish. And I'm happy to see Bayley getting the shine that she's been getting. This is what she should have been doing as women's champion, but for whatever reason, Triple H just never pushed her the way that she's being pushed now. And maybe it's because she is in the NBA All-Star game that they want to, tap into that and get people interested.
Probably.
Maybe. But what are we doing with the women's IC title, man? Like, why is the Intercontinental Champion competing for a spot in the women's Elimination Chamber match? We created these mid-card titles for the very reason to help elevate the women and to give these women that are kind of in the middle of the pack something to compete for and something to wrestle for. And, I feel like Chelsea Green is doing her thing on SmackDown as the U.S. champion and making it feel important. But Lyra Valkyria she won the title on the first episode or the second episode of Raw on Netflix and hasn't defended it since, hasn't had a story since. They've shown her in the audience 2 or 3 times, like sitting in Monday Night Raw and acting like it's a huge deal that she's there, but she never defends the title. There's no story. There's no direction for her. And there's a lot of women that could wrestle her. Ivy Nile would be a fantastic opponent for her. Jordan Grace would be great. Bring her over. You could bring up some NXT people. There's a number of people. Zoe Stark or Shayna Baszler would be good for them. But no, it's just like, let's put her in the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And then she lost. Now, there's no problem losing to Bayley. No problem. I mean, that's not a bad loss by any stretch. But to me, it makes her championship reign look weak because she lost. And anytime you didn't see Gunther when he was IC champion competing in the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. You didn't see Braun Breaker. He's not in the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches on the men's side. So it's just, you got to treat them evenly or get rid of these mid-card titles if you're not going to use them right.
She didn't even wear her belt to the match.
Yeah, no.
I would have not even known she was champion. Here's the thing, right? You're saying exactly right. The whole point of an IC Women's Championship is to give more airtime to the women. You give an IC championship, she's getting less airtime. It makes no sense. So you're 100% spot on. And I losing to Bayley, that's nothing to fight about. Okay, cool, guys. But she lost. Why is she losing? Why are we not building her?
Why is she in this match in the first place?
Yeah, she beat Dakota Kai. Now let her face other people and build up other people and let her have her way to WrestleMania on a high note. Just really, really bizarre booking, in my opinion. So I agree with you fully. And man yells at a cloud again. You're back to back. Right after the main event, Rey Mysterio is hanging out in the ring. Credits rolled. Producer Triple H, Paul Levesque, and out comes the New Day to get in 2 licks, and Netflix cuts off. Man yells at a cloud. Let's hear what you gotta say.
So I know what you're gonna say, and I respect what you're about to say. But the thing I didn't like about it is it has nothing to do with, it's trying to get us to tune in next week. We're trying to, to me, it does. You're trying to establish these guys as heels. You're trying to get them to, you're trying to get them that heat that they haven't really had. We finally see them getting physical for the first time, really, since they attacked or they turned on Big E. They've been doing a bunch of backstage stuff, and they had a match a couple of times with Rey Mysterio. Last week, they got bailed out by Logan Paul. This week, they're helping out. They're beating up Rey after the match, and the show goes right off the air. I just didn't. I feel like if they were established as heels and getting that massive heel heat, and like if this had been done in 2 to 3 weeks, I would have been fine with it. But for them to do it right as they come out, and then to cut off Monday Night Raw, and then I have to go watch WWE.com to see the 2-minute beatdown of Rey Mysterio. It's just like, why couldn't you add this to the Raw on Netflix? And I think the reason I don't like it too is because I feel misled and I feel kind of gypped. So it's bad enough that I'm paying for the ad-free version of Netflix to watch Raw on Netflix, and I still get ads. So that's bad enough. It's also bad enough that Triple H came out and said, we're no longer held by the time constraints of live network television. So we can go on as long as we want. We can go 40 minutes if we want. We can go 3 hours. We have the opportunity to do whatever we want. And it's not like the show was going 2.5, it was like 2 hours and 10 minutes. What's minutes to show us the New Day beating down Rey Mysterio, ending the show with them getting a significant amount of heat. So that was my problem with it. I know that it's to get you to tune in next week and to get people talking about it and buzzing about it. And maybe they make this a storyline because, Kofi and Xavier were mad that they weren't in the Royal Rumble. Now they're getting cut off at the end of Monday Night Raw. So maybe they could turn it into a story. But it was I did feel a little gypped. Yeah.
You talking about Triple H, 30, 40 minutes, 2 hours. You sound like me when I take a Blue Chew. Look, my thing, come on, Blue Chew, sponsor us. I am not only a client, I'm the player president. My thing is that I get what you're saying. I fully get it. I truly have no argument against what you're saying. So I'm not even going to say that. Like, having an argument means you're wrong, and you're not wrong. My side and take of it is that number one, Raw being shorter. I don't know why y'all, not you, but I don't know why everyone's complaining. You know what I hate watching now? SmackDown. You want to know why? Because it's 3 hours. I am an adult. I'm no longer 16 in my house having nothing to do other than hanging out with my homies and using my sock. Like I have a life. I need to do things now. Right? Yeah, right. I have stuff to do, homie. Like I don't have 3 hours on a Friday night to just sit around and watch SmackDown for so Raw. Every time I watch Raw, man, it's like I watched NXT last night live. It's at 8 o'clock my time, so 11 o'clock your time. We get it delayed, not at 5 like I do Raw, right? Like SmackDown and so on. And I watched it. It was so nice. 2 hours. It went by quick. It was breezy. I was like, I didn't even need the no commercials or forward through. It was nice. It was quick. SmackDown, I watched live last week. I could have left and came back, and I wouldn't have. It's just too long. So I'm not going to argue with the Raw thing, but let's get into the New Day thing. Number one, I get it, but I was saying that they needed to attack Big E again because they were getting a little stale, which they are. You can't just have people wear shirts against them and walk out on them. That ran its course, right? So how do you get people talking about them? This is how you get people talking about them. And I like that it was spontaneous and it made it feel real. Like Triple H, or once you hit the credits, it's game over. We don't know how it works. Homeboy with the button probably was just like, credits and hit. And then it was like, oh, fuck, it's off. You know what I mean? So to me, it felt more real, more like, oh, shoot, what is this all about? And like I said in my TikToks and so on, it's called a cliffhanger, right? Is Monica and Rachel and friends? Are they pregnant? Who's the pregnant one? It's their wedding. Bum, bum, bum. Shoot, who shot Mr. Burns? I'm aging myself big time. But yeah, we were on a break. Like you that was what makes a good show because it tunes you back into next week. Everybody is going to want to watch next week because they're going to want to know what happened in the New Day. So yeah, you can complain today, but you'll be happy tomorrow. And that's what I like about it. It's just like the same thing with why did Cody and Kevin Owens get in a fight backstage on the air? Well, you know what? It worked because that feud was phenomenal. Like it's just building up. I like it. And now you know, hey, I have to tune in all the way. Even after those credits hit, I have to keep watching Raw because I don't know what's going to happen next. And somebody can pop out, attack, or do something else. I can't just the credits hit and walk away from my screen. I got to wait till the last damn second. I think it's good television. I think it's one of the few things Trips is doing because Trips, he's a troll, man. He's more of a troll than the trolls I talk to you about when we text and make fun of people. He is a troll, my man. He loves these internet people who talk about him and who, whether it be Sean Rossap and Dave Meltzer or Bloopty Bloop Blah, who has 200 views, or Santu, who has 200,000 views, right? He likes all of you because he wants to talk about us, right? And that's what he's doing. Oh, you don't think Alexa Bliss is going to come back? Yeah, hold my phone. Hey, yo, Alexa Bliss, you come in a Rumble. You know what I mean? That's what he wants to do. He wants you guys to talk because he knows that's what's getting the views. It's like the same thing. Hey, Wheezy. Hey, Santy. Heck yeah, I'll throw you on my TV. You guys want backstage passes to interview people? Heck yeah. Oh, wait, but we're going to block you from showing our stuff because that's how it works. Because we don't need you. You need us. And that's what they're going to just, you know what I mean? That's what he does, man.
And while watching this, I was really annoyed I watched Raw twice this week. And the first time I saw it, I was really annoyed because I thought they cut him off because of Jey Uso doing all that yeeting at the beginning, and because they ran out of time because he did the encore, and then he did it again, and then he did it again, and then they ran out of time at the end to show us the full beatdown of the New Day. But then I watched it again after I heard what you had to say, and I was like, okay, I could see this as the argument too. So so I agree, but I also feel like I'm paying $24.99 for Netflix per month for ad-free version, and I'm getting commercials, and then I'm paying
He disappeared, but you were complaining about Netflix. Here's the thing, right, though? Really quick, you're $24.99. Doesn't just go to WWE, my friend. You're getting the last season of Stranger Things, last season of Cobra Kai. You get in Squid Game Season 2, Wednesday Season 2. You doing all right. You're doing all right. Don't act like you don't watch all those shows. Now I watch How I Met Your Mother on there because I got kicked off of Hulu. So Netflix is my jam right now. I'm like, I have never watched Netflix. Now I'm watching it all the time. I haven't watched this Orange is the New Black. All right. You ready? Well, actually, I watched Stranger Things. All right, let's get into it. You ready for NXT?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Let's start with it. Somebody appeared. I'll let you start with it. Ryan, who appeared? What'd you think? Let's go.
Right before the main event, and we'll talk more about some AEW releases come Friday's episode. But we had a big debut, one absolute blank because we don't know his name, but the absolute one has arrived. But we all know him as Ricky Starks. WWE knows him as, we don't really know what they know him as because they didn't say his name. He just kept saying the absolute one, and the Revolution will be televised. It was televised before in AEW, but it's being televised now in WWE. So Ricky Starks was technically released, I guess, from AEW on Monday, and less than 24 hours later, he cut a great promo. And I think NXT is the right place for him. I think he's going to thrive there, especially when Trick Williams gets called up to the main roster. They're going to need somebody to fill that void, and I think Ricky Starks can be that guy. I think he has potential to be NXT champion for not just this year, but for years to come. And I think he has a very bright future in NXT, and then he can go to the main roster as well.
I'm pretty sure his name is Richard Starks. So doesn't he have to be Ricky Starks? Like, is that like copy? That's his real name. I don't know why they didn't say his name. Like, are they going to call him Dragon Lee? Like, what are they? I don't know what they're trying to do here, but I'm assuming he's going to be Ricky Starks. But nonetheless, look, NXT was a place for him. I thought Penta should have went to NXT. I still believe Penta should have gone to NXT because imagine Penta as the world champion. Yeah, I know he's getting cheered and stuff, but Penta's a little bit bigger than NXT internationally than Ricky Starks. So Ricky Starks going to NXT makes sense. Imagine in 6 months him being the world champion, him carrying that brand before he moves on to WWE and feuds with Cody as bestie or whatever else. I mean, Ricky Starks is such a damn good promo. Like, he just is. I had to bring up, though, the fact that, did you notice the entire time he was promoing, there was like a balding dude right next to him sitting down on his cell phone, literally Ricky Starks is touching him with his leg and he's just like on his phone.
Yeah, he's not moving. Yeah.
Like, not even paying attention to Ricky Starks. And then like all of a sudden Ricky's like does his little pose and walks out and he's like, oh, well, where am I? Am I at an NXT event? And I think Ricky Starks felt really comfortable, right? He was in the same amount of arena that he usually is with AEW, right? In front of like 200 fans. It was like perfect for him. Yeah. It was nice, good. But nonetheless, I want to ask you something though. And I was going to make a TikTok about it. I wasn't sure if it was going to get me too much hate. But do you think Ricky Starks stopped getting shown on AEW because of him and Adam Copeland? Do you remember when Cope called him a vanilla midget and Ricky Starks gave it to him? And then he like started like fumbling his words. And then Ricky Starks was like, I'm not even going to do it. He was never featured after that, to my knowledge. I think that was it for him. I think TK was like, yo, you don't embarrass our like brand new, and I don't think Cope liked it. And that was the day I realized that I'm not sure if Cope is as good as he thinks he is on the mic. He needs script, but nonetheless, Ricky is that dude. So no matter what they do with him, and this is a huge signing. I'm not even going to say he wasn't utilized in AEW because that's BS. It's a huge signing. And sometimes people work better at other ones. AKA John Moxley. He was a better AEW star than he was a WWE star. Was he a phenomenal WWE star? Yes. But Moxley is greater than Dean Ambrose. It just is what it is, man. Some people fit in certain situations better. Like Edge is greater than Cope. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for Ricky Starks in NXT. I think it's going to work. And I think he wants to be there. I don't think he really wanted to be in AEW long term. And I think he's going to be happy in the long run in WWE.
I agree. All right, main event time. Let's get into it real quick. Tony D, Ridge Holland, Sean Spears came in. Izzy betrayed him, I guess, and turned on Tony D. What'd you think of this main event steel cage match?
I thought this was one of the best cage matches I've seen in a long time.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed it. I mean, we got to give Ridge Holland some praise and some love because this man, he takes a lot of heat for what happened with Big E, and then he came back and he lost to Trick Williams, and he shouldn't have been getting a title shot. But that man is a star. That man is a stud, and he's fantastic in the ring. So he deserves a lot of praise. Tony D'Angelo is also a star. That man is fantastic in the ring. He's the only one that's beaten Obafemi twice. So he deserves his accolades as well. And that match was just, everything about it was great. And I love the ending with Sean Spears turning or beating up Tony D'Angelo and everybody joining him in the ring, and even the family trying to climb in there, and they're hitting the side of the cage and they're knocking them off the cage. I thought all of that was really, really good. It was a solid way to end the go home show for Vengeance Day. I thought it was a good way to get us excited for the pay-per-view.
It was nice just to have a steel cage match without blood, weapons all over the place, and so on. It was a nice little. I mean, I know the crowbar winner at the end, but it was very nice. The turn was good. I'm loving it. Tony D can wrestle a mop. This guy needs to start getting respect too, because Ridge Holland's best match with Tony D. Obafemi's best matches with Tony D. Tony D is that dude. He's going to be a future world champion. He'll win it, and then he'll probably lose it to Ricky Starks at some point. That's my predictions moving forward. But yeah, Tony D is that dude. Great way to close the show. All right.
I loved it.
Yes, sir. That's our weekend review, y'all. That's absolute. Now it's time for some Vengeance Day predictions. NXT on Saturday at 3:00 Pacific time, because why not? What the heck are we doing now? So stupid.
Yeah, who knows?
It's prediction time. Before it ever happens, it's a prediction. Lean in close, take notes, listen. Cause they about to point it out quickly. All the things that you didn't see is getting called like plays at the line of scrimmage. You can take it to the bank, the dudes ain't tripping. They've been seeing what's coming for a good minute. It's prediction time, yeah, let's get it.
All right, NXT Vengeance Day predictions. Let's get into it. We've got 6 matches to go through. This is probably the easiest predictions I've ever predicted. Let's see if I'm 6 for 6. I think I will be. Let's see what you are. What's first up? Woo! We got Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. His mouth is not wired anymore. He's ready to go. Who do you got?
I want Ethan Page to win, but I feel like they're going to give it to the guy who just had his jaw wired shut for 6 weeks. So I'm going to go Javon Evans gets the win. I think this is going to be a fantastic match. I want Ethan Page to get the win because I think he needs to keep rising up the ranks, but it's going to be Javon Evans.
Yeah, Ethan Page doesn't need it that much. I mean, he does, but he doesn't. I think it's going to be Javon Evans, and this will be his, first real big win moment in NXT. Yes, sir. Javon. Well, let's go. Right. Next up, we got the strap match, which means you gonna get whipped. We got Trick Williams versus Eddie Thorpe. Who do you got?
It's got to be Trick Williams, because I feel like they're getting us to Obafemi versus Trick Williams at Stand and Deliver, and both men are gonna, obviously that spoils my prediction for the main event, but that's what they're gonna give us as the main as at Stand and Deliver for the title. So Trick Williams cannot lose before that. He needs to get some momentum back.
I fully agree with you. It's Trick Williams all day, every day. He's going to build to the biggest main event in NXT history at Stand and Deliver in Las Vegas. Baby, we'll be there. All right, what's next?
Let's do this one.
All right, the NXT Women's North American Championship. We got Fallon Henley, the woman that nobody knows is the champion, versus Stephanie Vaquer. Who do you got?
I think we're seeing the title change. I think it's going to be Stephanie Vaquer. NXT's very, they're trying to show us that Julia and Stephanie are a thing. They're they're a team, and they're both going to have their respective titles. So Julia's going to have the women's title, and Stephanie's going to have the North American Championship. So Stephanie gets the win.
Poor Fallon Henley. She's just, what are you going to do? Yeah, the AEW takeover continues in NXT. Stephanie, I don't care, Vaquer is going to win the North American Women's Championship, and hopefully finally do something with it, because no one's done anything with it. Like I always said, It should have been Sol Ruka. All right, what's next? Woo! The hottest tag team in the world. Fraxium versus Josh Briggs and Yoshika Nomura. Who do you got?
I'm going Fraxium because I don't know anything about Yoshika Nomura, and Josh Briggs is still relatively new-ish to this tag team scene. They're not the team to beat Fraxium, so Frazier and Axiom are going to get the win, and they're going to retain their tag team championships.
Yeah, Fraxium's not going to lose to a random put-together tag team. They're going to lose to a tag team. I can see them losing at Stand and Deliver finally and moving on to WrestleMania.
The Hardys. Yeah, they're going to lose to the Hardys.
What?
Yeah,
that would be a dope match. But yeah, Fraxium as well. All right.
That's the co-main event.
All right, the NXT Women's Championship, a four-way that I would love to be a part of. The champion Julia versus Bayley versus Roxanne Perez versus Cora Jade. Oh my goodness. Who do you got?
Julia's gonna win and Bayley's gonna take the pin. I think that's why she's in this match, to put the young talent over. But this is probably gonna steal the show. I think this is probably gonna be the best match of the night. And I'm giving it Julia leaves with her women's championship.
Ooh, that's a bold move, Cotton. All right, I'm going to go Julia as well, winning. Let's hope it pays off. I think Bayley is the favorite to win the Elimination Chamber, her and Liv Morgan. That's my two favorites. So I don't see Bayley taking the pin. Julia, I think it's going to pin. I'll go with Cora Jade. I think her and Roxanne's feud, and that'll make Cora Jade even more angry because Roxanne will make fun of her and so on. So yeah, I got Julia winning pin on Cora Jade, who's fine too. Whew. All right, main event time. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We got Oba Femi defending against Grayson Waller and the man that I said is the most underrated wrestler today, Austin Theory. I think this is the official breakup of these two, but who do you got?
I'm going Oba Femi wins. I don't think Theory and Waller break up in this match. I think something happens to where the breakup starts, but they don't actually break up. Waller gets rolled up while arguing with Theory over something, and that's how Oba Femi gets the win. And then they break up at a later day on SmackDown or Raw or wherever they're drafted now. But they're going to tease the dissension a little bit more. But Oba Femi wins regardless.
Oba Femi wins. I wouldn't be surprised to see a double pin where he puts Austin on top of Grayson and pins them both or something. I wouldn't be surprised Roman Reigns style, but nonetheless, Oba wins, goes on to Trick Williams, and Grayson Waller and Austin Theory will wrestle at WrestleMania.
Do you think
it'll be a hell of a match?
Do you think Ricky Starks makes an appearance at all at this show? I mean, they introduced him on the Go Home show for a reason, so I feel like maybe they have a plan for him doing something.
I just don't know where. The only person it could be is Ethan Page. Where else is he going to go? Or is he going to feud with Eddie Thorpe? I mean, the thing is, if they wanted him to, they wouldn't have given him that random, they were literally showing the matches for Vengeance Day, and all of a sudden it was like, hold up. And it's like, huh? And he was just random. And then they had more backstage interviews and then a match. He was just randomly placed. So I feel like if they were going to put him in the spotlight, he would have been after the cage match if he was going to go after Tony D or Sean. But I don't think there's a place for him in the titles right now, any of them. So no, I think this was just to get people talking, to tune into Vengeance Day. He'll be back on NXT next week. I don't know who he'll feud against, but we shall see. All right. That was our predictions. 6 for 6. We all agree. Take them to the bank. I think this is the easiest ever to call. We shall see. Now it's time for our weekly segment where we need to get our dude to get a wrap to it because we do it every single week. It is our least valuable and most valuable dude and dudettes of the week. Ryan enjoys wrestling. Who is your least valuable of the week of Raw, SmackDown, and NXT?
I'm going back to my rant on from Monday Night Raw, but I'm going Lyra Valkyria, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, not defending her title, getting pinned, having just a dull reign so far as Women's IC Champion. You're the first ever Women's IC Champion. It should be a huge deal. They're treating Chelsea Green like she's a big deal on SmackDown, and she's got her own Secret Service, and she's doing fantastic stuff. Yeah, she's going to wrestle Mitchum for the 855th time, but she's still making that belt feel important. Lyra Valkyria, she didn't even carry the belt to the ring. You wouldn't have even known she was the Intercontinental Champion. She's got to be my LVD of the week. Fantastic in the ring, great rookie season, and since being called up to Monday Night Raw, finalist of the Queen of the Ring tournament, the first ever women's IC title. But yeah, her losing, it's just been a dull reign so far.
Yeah, I agree. Poor, and she's talented. Should have given it to Dakota Kai. Great. I mean, keep her doing nothing if you wanted somebody to do nothing with it. But yeah. All right, my least valuable dude of the week is going to surprise you. It is the kid who got hit by Gunther's jacket. There is nothing
would have been an MVD. Yeah.
So you would think so, right? Because people are like, oh, dude, this and that. But that dude paid probably $1,000, or his dad did, or mom, to show up to sit front row behind Pat McAfee's whack ass who got Aaron Rodgers fired from the Jets. And what does he get for it? He opens up 1 second into the show by watching Jey Uso yeet to only get hit by a zipper right into his head, to get dropped on national Netflix television internationally in front of anybody, and had to sit there the rest of the time knowing that he was the dude that paid that much money to get hit in the face. Hopefully he kept the jacket. If he didn't, oh man, that's even worse. But sorry, kid, I feel for you. I think it sucked. I think we should get a GoFundMe to help you go to another event that you can sit front row. But man, you are my L of the week, dude. And you could put your hands up, homie. You didn't see that jacket coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. She just took it and fell, and he was out. He didn't come back till later on.
To be fair, Gunther did look like the security. He wasn't dressed like normal Gunther. He had a hoodie on, and then he looked like security. So the kid may not have expected, like, oh wait, that's Gunther. Why is the security beating up this poor man doing the yeet? So, but also, WWE took care of that kid. Probably gave him. He's probably going to WrestleMania right next to the guy in the green shirt, and he's gonna have backstage passes, and he's gonna probably have a podcast that's gonna get 1 million views and all this. So
he's gonna be the new like Brock Lesnar guy, or the Undertaker face. It's gonna be kid hit with.
That's gonna be kid, zipper kid. Yeah. So he'll be all right. He'll bounce back.
He's gonna be all right. All right. Most valuable. Who do you got for this week at WWE?
I'm gonna go. If I can get it on the screen, there we go. I'm gonna give it to Bayley. I think Bayley is. I'm going 2 for 2 on the dudettes, but I think Bayley is doing exactly what she's supposed to be doing. She is, like you said, probably the favorite to win the Elimination Chamber. She's having the run of her life. She's being used properly. She's on every single show now. For a while there, she was on SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. This week, she beat Lyra Valkyria, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, on Raw. And then she lost in the NXT, and she took a pinfall, but she did what she was supposed to do, and that's put over the young talent in NXT and let them get their shine. And right now, this is the best Bayley has been in a long, long time. Like I think one of the commentators said, I think it was Corey Graves. He said that he's never seen Bayley this locked in before. I've never seen Bayley this locked in before, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. So Bayley gets my MVP of the week.
Yeah, good pick. Good pick. I'm going to go with Tony D'Angelo.
That's a good one,
that dude cannot have a bad. That cage match felt like it was the world championship. When's the last time a secondary match in WWE had that feel? Ridge Holland brought it. He's my co-MVD. They just had a hell of a match. And the fact that Izzy's not even popular and Sean Spears hasn't been on TV, but that turn and that beatdown felt important. They locked the cage. They were hitting his dudes off the cage and then put that slam and put him through it. It was awesome. I was hoping to see the chairman back. I was hoping he was going to really put in work with that chair. But nonetheless, great stuff. Tony D, man, keep doing you. You are going to be a star. I was actually upset. Chris Van Fleet had Carlito on his show. It was like a live one. And one of the fans, they were asking like who Carlito should wrestle his last match. And someone said, oh, you should wrestle Tony D'Angelo. And he was like, who? And they're like, Tony D'Angelo. And he was like, is he from NXT? And they're like, yeah. And he goes, oh, I'll beat any NXT guy. I was like, dude, Carlito, you're a vet. You should be watching everything. Yeah. You should like Tony D. You don't know Tony D'Angelo? Then you don't know anyone in NXT. Like that dude is huge.
I didn't like that. Yeah.
Oh, you listened to it? I mean, Carlito's awesome. I'm the huge Carlito fan. That's my dude. But come on, Carlito. Like, no Tony D'Angelo at least, man.
No.
But yeah, Tony D's that dude. Tony D should use that as fire. Not against Carlito, but to be like, yo, I'm too talented not to be known by not Carlito. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great week for Tony D. And it was a great match to close out NXT.
Yes, sir. All right. There it is. 2 dudes with attitudes. Like I said, if you ain't following, if you're not hitting that subscribe button, commenting, liking, DMing, whatever you want to do, you need to do it. Get us out there. Get that algorithm running. We are trying our best, and we're giving you the best we can get. And I know it's good because I listen to other people's podcasts like us, and it ain't this good. Not even Busted Open is this good, homies. No, all right. As always, they do. As always, I'm MWO. You can catch me on all social medias at my_wrestling_opinion. The same hook on all of them. And with me, as always, is my brother from another mother.
It's Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. I'm on all the social platforms as well. Go follow me on TikTok and all the other places. Go follow us on X at 2 Dudes PC. That stands for podcast, for those wondering what the PC stands for. And follow us on TikTok at 2 Dudes with Attitudes, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying some different things. We got some exclusive content coming. So be on the lookout over there. And if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, we appreciate all the love and support we always get. Drop us a 5-star rating and review.
Yeah.
And tell everyone about your favorite 2 dudes on the internet.
2 Dudes Wolf Pack. We out.
2 dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the 2 dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're riding in Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the 2 dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on time to